Sun in 5th house. The potency of Sun will further strengthen and enhance the aspects of this house which would take the impacts in the positive appearance, but some adverse effects could also appear, while the majority will be held by the positive impacts, as Sun is a benefic celestial presence. The arrival of Sun in the 5th house will bestow a strong educational path to the person, for which he or she would emerge high with knowledge and wisdom, besides which there would be an special inclination towards creative activities. They are born with Sun in 5th house variant attributes, and they want everyone to know the same, for which they seek to express themselves and present themselves with their best efforts, and could also become showy at times, but they should avoid it as they are naturally noticeable. The natives possessing Sun in their 5th house are very much strong at their mind and core, for which they are quite adventurous, courageous and exploring in their approach. Besides this, they are vivacious and friendly personas to be liked by many around. The natives of this placement are truly devoted towards their children, as they will be concerned towards them and will like to spend time and somehow get involved with them. There will be a really strong relation between the native and children, but their approach to fulfill their dreams through the child and imposing their vision upon them could be a problem. These natives would be strongly inclined towards the professions like acting, writing, or where they could perform in front of the public. The benefic placement of Sun in 5th bhava will take the person and her family towards the heights of affluence and prosperity, while the placement of Mars in the 1st or 8th and Rahu, Ketu, Saturn in the 9th and 12th bhava will take the person to supreme heights upon land. Besides this, the presence of Jupiter in the 9th or 12th house will destroy the enemies, but it won't be good for the children, while the malefic placement of Sun along with Jupiter in 10th house could bring death of first as well as subsequent wives, husbands, and with Saturn in 3rd bhava could result in the death of sons. In the end, the person with Surya in 5th bhava should keep her kitchen towards the eastern direction for better results, and should delay in having child. The native should drop a little mustard oil on the ground regularly for 43 days for the reduction in malefic effects. Sun in Aries. Sun, a fiery masculine planet, is exalted when posited in Aries, which is ruled by Mars, another fierce masculine planet. Since Sun shares a friendly relationship with Mars, the position of Sun in Aries is held to bring positive results to the native as per Vedic astrology principles. Such a person is a leader. He has the ability to show the way and influence the masses. There is a strong sense of duty and honesty in such people. These are some of the most passionate and courageous people who never hesitate from taking a challenge. They are intelligent and sharp-minded too. And their physical stature is as strong as their inner character is. Such people have the qualities of a warrior, and do well in areas such as police, military, leadership and government sector. They can also get acclaim in the field of art. They usually have a strong heritage and live a prosperous life. But with all these positive attributes, this Sun in Aries also makes the person a little aggressive. Such people are too blunt and straightforward at times, which isn't always appreciated. They can be egoistic and dominating as well. In terms of health, the person with Sun in Aries is prone to blood disorders, especially if malefic influence of planets is there. 9th Lord in the 5th house. When the 9th Lord in the 5th house, the person is fortunate through divine being, angels. If the planet in good dignity, then the person have high spiritual inclination, spirituality, and philosophical knowledge, good speculative mind, gives a prosperous and famous parents. The person's children also fortunate and enjoy success and distinction in life, and fortunate through gurus. If the planet is not in good dignity or weak, then the person overly optimistic and take risk in speculative business, loss in all 5th house matters like sports, trouble through children and etc. Sun in 6th house. Sun is the most potent celestial presence whose arrival in the 6th house would further strengthen the aspects of this house in the native's life, besides which, it is a vivid giver of vigor and aggression which would be very easily perceivable from the native's personality. Presence of Sun would make them appear dominating and effective. The natives of this placement having Sun in 6th house are truly determined and sincere personalities who are believed to succeed and attain higher and strong positions at their workplace for being truly hardworking and perfectionist at work, while on the other part, these natives are very much demanding and strict when it comes to their work. They are usually admired and respected in their work arena for the same reasons, but some people could also become jealous and envious towards them for they being quite harsh in their attitude, but these natives will triumph over their enemies and would attain benefits from them as well. These natives having in 6th house are very much attached to all the things which they have accomplished at their workplace, for which they are very sensitive for the criticism to their work. These people are somewhat proud of their work, but they should stay away from being overconfident and snobbish with their work. They should understand that no one is perfect in this world. The natives having Surya in 6th bhava would be at their best if would be given required freedom at work, besides which motivation would be their true strength. Health could be a strong concern for these natives, besides which the benefic placement of Sun in the 1st house would bestow the person with charming spouse. The placement of Ketu in 1st or 7th bhava along with this placement will bestow the native with Sun and would bring her with strong fortune after the age of 48 Octoskans. The natives having Sun in 6th house with placement of Moon, Mars and Jupiter in the 2nd bhava will be beneficial from following tradition and respecting culture. The native would get a government job after 22nd year of his birth if there won't be any planet in the 2nd house. The malefic placement of Sun in the 6th house would bring adverse health to the native, besides which native Sun and the maternal family would also confront difficulties in life. The placement of Mars in the 10th house would bring frequent deaths to the sons, while the placement of planet Mercury in the 12th bhava would cause problems of high blood pressure to the person. The natives of this placement should strictly adore and pursue the customs of the family, as it will strongly impact upon the family happiness. The native should not construct any underground furnace in the housing arena and should blow off the fire of kitchen stove by sprinkling the milk over it after having dinner. The natives should offer wheat or gur to monkeys and should always keep the Ganajal in the house. Sun in Taurus. Taurus is a fixed earth sign and its lord is Venus. Venus is a feminine watery planet while Sun is a masculine fiery planet. Both are inimical to each other, so the placement of Sun in Taurus is not considered positive in Vedic astrology, especially if it is under malefic influence. Natives born with Sun in Taurus face a lot of difficulties and challenges in life. When it comes to their physique and health, such people suffer from lack of immunity and bodily weakness. They are also vulnerable to diseases related to face or eyes. Water may also pose some risks and dangers to these natives. This position of Sun also gives dissatisfaction from spouse, so not favorable for marriage. Nevertheless, such natives tend to be good-looking and humble-natured. They are astute and wise, with good knowledge of performing arts such as singing, dance and music. In fact, at times they can also play musical instruments. They are usually well off, endowed with a rich lifestyle. They tend to earn a lot of wealth and financial gains too. 9th Lord in the 6th house. When the 9th Lord in the 6th house, the person fortunate through serving. If the planet in good dignity, then the person have connection to the defense and service field or justice. The person can be lawyer, take stand for unethical or unjust behavior, win most law cases, have strong sense of service to the parents, gurus and fortunate through hard work. If the planet is not in good dignity or weak, then the person's parents afflicted with chronic diseases, have conflicts with parents, may face legal problems, losses through servants and struggle in overall general in life. Sun in 7th house. The placement of Sun in 7th house would bring pleasing impacts upon the native's life and would make this house emerge benefic for the person, besides strengthening the aspects of 7th house in the native's life. It would be one of good placements in the horoscope chart of the person. The natives of this placement of Sun in 7th house would carry a serious approach towards relationships, besides which he or she would really need a intimate and conjugal relationship, as in vivid words. Marriage is very important for these people in their life. They pay true concern and sincerity towards their conjugal relationship as well as towards their closed relationships. These people are perceived to lead a blissful married life and would carry strong relations around. These people with Surya in 7th Bhava possess strong and dominating personalities who are skilled in maintaining good public relation and the one who could leave great impacts behind. They are strong followers of peace and harmony and often play the role of pacifier upon land, and for the same reasons they are good at judging and are those who would give their best efforts to maintain the peace in any relationship. These people rule with their calm presence. The natives of this placement of Surya in 7th Bhava are admired and liked by many around for their persona. They are truly helpful in nature, but they are very sensitive to rejection, as they will forcefully give advices as they think good of everyone, but they need to understand that everyone doesn't need it. Apart from this, they are strong, courageous personalities who can handle heavy responsibilities alone and feel good to do the same. They should keep patience in every aspect. The placement of Jupiter, Moon or Mars in the 2nd Bhava along with this placement would be really beneficial for the person, and he or she would attain strong higher positions in the governmental sector. There would be a never-ending source of money coming to natives' place if the Mercury would be exalted or gets placed in 5th or 7th Bhava. Besides this, the malefic placement of Sun in the 7th house along with placement of Jupiter, Venus or any other malefic planet in the 11th Bhava would bring in malefic Mercury in the house would bring death of several members of family at the same time. The native would find difficulties and conflicts with authority people including government, besides which fire and such other harsh incidents could also occur in the family. He or she would have health problems like tuberculosis and asthma. The placement of malefic Sun in the 7th house and Mars or Saturn in the 2nd or 12th and Moon in 1st would bring leprosy to the person. These natives should start all works after taking some sweets with water before and should avoid much salt in the diet to the possible extent. You should offer some part of your food to the fire or wherever you cook the food. Sun in Gemini. Gemini is an air sign with dual personality and its lord is Mercury, which is a neutral planet of earthy element. Mercury considers Sun as a friend, which is neutral towards Mercury, so placement of Sun in Gemini brings positive results for the native. Intellect is the strong suit of people born with such planetary placement. They tend to be intelligent and wise, always up for a good debate. Their ideas are often backed by logic. They become great scholars and tend to be expert in many fields. They have a very calculative mind to thus do well in fields such as accounts and finance. Sun in Gemini also gives strong communication and the power to persuade people. Natives with this placement have liberal attitudes, so people often trust their judgment. But they do not misuse others. Such people tend to be modest, honest and sincere. The best professions for people with Sun in Gemini are teaching and astrology. Quite often, these natives earn a lot of fame in such fields. Fortune also seems to be favoring these individuals. But when it comes to appearance, they do average on the beauty scale. Their character, however, is nonetheless magnetic. 9th Lord in the 7th house. When the 9th Lord in the 7th house, the person fortunate through partnership. If the planet is in good dignity, then the person gets a lot of advantage from being in partnership and being married. The person may go abroad related with business and prosper there. Father may also prosper in foreign lands. The person get a noble and lucky wife. The person have pleasant personality overall. If the planet is not in good dignity or weak, then the person may difficulty in getting partner. Partner may travel in foreign land. Father could away in foreign countries. Sun in 8th house. Sun is the most auspicious and potent presence in the celestial arena, while it provides both pleasant and adverse impacts upon the natives as depending upon the other planetary placements in the horoscope chart. The arrival of Sun in the 8th house would bring most of positive impacts upon the native's life. The natives of this placement of Sun in 8th house would carry a positive and wiser approach towards life. These people would see life till its step and would perceive its real meaning, besides which they are sincere in their approach. They will respect others' differences and values and would understand others' sensitivity. They are humanitarian people, would wish for the goodness of humankind. The people of this placement Sun in 8th house are creative beings whose imaginations goes far beyond and who sees the lurk depths for which they could grow well in artistic and creative pursuits, besides which they are vigorous and dynamic people who are well suited for the professions like banking and stock market and those comprising some sort of investigation and research. These natives with Surya in 8th house keep learning from every aspect of life and are those who won't be satisfied easily, as they want everything to accomplish and attain at its whole. They will give their best efforts to achieve the best form life and would never let it go waste. They would lead a peaceful and calmed life. In their later years they would emerge high with supreme knowledge and would attain real inner growth towards supreme truth. These natives with Sun in 8th house would receive benefits from the government after their 22 octoskins of age if the placement of Sun would stay benefic for them, besides which they will attain good success and power in life. They would be blessed with a supreme picture of life at a higher stature in the social and professional arena. Besides this, the malefic presence of Sun in 8th bhava would bring some difficulties in the native's life, while the placement of Sun in the tuned house would bring financial crisis to the person. This would also make her aggressive and impatient in approach. These natives having Surya in 8th bhava should never keep a white cloth in the house and should never live in a house facing towards the south. They should eat anything in sweets and drink water before starting any work. They should throw a copper coin in a burning pyre to the possible extent and should throw ghee in a running water. Sun in Cancer. Cancer is a movable water sign, and its lord is Moon, which is a feminine watery planet. Sun is fiery masculine planet, but it shares a friendly relationship with Moon. Despite contradictory energies, these planets balance each other, quite like how our mother and father work together. With Moon's influence in this placement, the native is usually of a wavering mind. This indecisiveness hampers their undertakings. While the person is endowed with qualities of a king and earns a lot of fame, he or she struggles to enjoy the comfort associated with having a partner. Natives with Sun in Cancer are virtuous beings, follow a pious path in life and abide by the moral principles. Such people tend to be good-looking and have a magnetic personality. Activities related to space and atmosphere interest them a lot, so they tend to do well as scientists too. They can also become artists depending upon the placement of other planets in the chart. These natives, however, have to work harder than usual to fulfill their goals, and that keeps them distressed at times. Overall, this is a positive placement. 9th Lord in the 8th house. When the 9th Lord in the 8th house, the person gets unearned fortune. If the planet in good dignity, then the person gets support and financial benefit from the parents, fortunate through parental and partner property, interested in esoteric mystical side of the life. If the planet is not in good dignity or weak, then the person may lose parents early in life. The person may suffer severe poverty and heavy responsibility due to parents' separations. The person may abandon traditions or damage religious institutions, trouble through long-distance travel and etc.